Hi, welcome back to another episode of the TVC Collector. We're going to cover some more sales of things that happened between April 7th and April 9th um, on eBay, and let's just get straight into it. First up, we had a Mandalorian VC 292. This was the pack-in that came with the N1 Starfighter. Really love this. This was the first Mandalorian figure that they issued on an unpunched card. So being that it was unpunched, I sent mine in to get graded, and I got a 925 on mine. I was really pleased about that. But this figure went for $90 with free shipping, and I have seen the N1 on clearance. Obviously, it's a couple of years old now, so we've seen those for 95 to $99, and that's with the ship and everything. So somebody paid $90 just for the figure. So, kudos to the seller on that one. But next up, we have a 2012 vintage collection. This is the VC-115 Darth Vader. This is the Emperor's Wrath. This was the very last figure in the 1.0 run before they ended the line in 2013. And then they obviously brought it back in 2018 with the 2.0 run, but this was the last figure. And this is a Kenner 96 card. So this was in 1983 when Return of the Jedi came out. They reissued Darth Vader on this particular card back. So I really love this card back. It's an original 96er. But anyway, this one was listed for 119. The best offer accepted on it was 93. So you're looking about $100 shipped for that figure. Really nice figure. Love that figure. Next up, we had another 1.0. This was the ARC Trooper Commander from 2011, VC 54 unpunched. This is the one that did not have the prototype armor Boba Fett sticker. There are two of them. There's one that had the prototype armor sticker offer and one that did not. And the card backs are a little bit different on them, just not too much, but a little bit. There's these logos down here are different on the other release that had the sticker on it versus this one. So that one went for what is that? $84 shipped for that 1.0 figure. Next up, we had a couple of Lumats. So these two both sold and they're both unpunched. Again, 1.0 figures. This is VC 104. They have not reissued this, so this is still a high dollar figure. This one went for 150 unpunched. We had another one from a different seller that went for 144, 14, no, 146. So right about the same price, 149, 146. Both of them were unpunched. This is an awesome, here again, another 96er. Really love that figure and I really love that card. Next up, we had this is a beauty. This is a VC05 AT-AT Commander, but this is the Canadian version of the card, and this is the one with the Baba error on the offer sticker. So they had a American card, then they had the Canadian card with the Boba sticker, and then they had one that was misprinted. This is the earlier release that had the Baba sticker on it, and these are really kind of cool to collect. I've actually got one of these as well. It's graded 9.0, and I do believe that they actually had an unpunched, or not an unpunched, they had an offerless version of this. So they're kind of hard to come by, but you can find them where they're completely offerless in the Canadian card. So that's a really nice one there. Went for 130. The one with the Baba sticker is obviously the more desirable one. The American card has come down quite a bit, especially since they just re-released the same card back with General Veers, but this Baba sticker one, and that looked like a pretty nice one. It was a pretty nice card, so very cool item there. Next up, we had a prototype, the exclusive. This was the mail away figure for. We're always talking about the one with a sticker. Well, this is the figure itself from the offer. So this is VC61 prototype Boba Fett in his prototype armor. This one did come with the with the box, with the mailer box. So that one went for, was that about $90, about $91 shipped on that figure. So pretty nice figure there. We had a Jango Fett VC34 unpunched. This one went for 118 free shipping. Looked like it was pretty clean overall. Except for some of that hang tab. I didn't pay attention to that, but anyway, I mean that's what it sold for, was $118. For $118, I would have got one that was a little bit more minty myself, but hey, from the front it actually displays well, but you can see that hang tab is Not completely unpunched, but it has come loose, and there's some damage to the back of it. So keep an eye on that if you're out to buy one of these. I mean, for 120 or $125, you can find one that doesn't have any damage whatsoever. So I just pay attention to that if I were spending that kind of money. Next up, really love this. This is the VC334 Darth Vader. So there's two variations of this card. Obviously, there's the one on the classic Kenner 96 card. It's a and then they re-released this with the Darth Vader Tie Fighter, so as a pack-in, but they put it on an alternate card. Same figure, just a different card. And this is a new image. This is not a 96 figure. This is not one we've ever had. So really love this. Now, what's interesting about this is that this figure went for, what is that, about $95. Well, you can get the whole ship with the figure for 152, the shipped, because obviously this one's sold. But part of the problems with these was when they shipped, the way that they put the figure inside of the box, it was sitting uh, inside of a piece of cardboard, and that cardboard, depending on which way they laid the ship, if they laid it on one side, well, the whole ship is weighing down on that piece of cardboard, and it was kind of sawing into that figure. If they put it on the other side, a lot of people got really minty figures. So a lot of people were trying to buy figures, including myself. I had two of these, both of them were messed up. So I had to buy another figure because I wanted one graded, and both of mine had a big damage, a big line right across here where that cardboard was kind of sawing into it. So if you don't care about keeping a mint one, then you can just get the regular VC334 that's on the yellow 96 Kenner. It's the same exact figure. So if you wanted just an opener, and you can still get those at retail, for 18, $20, whatever they are. But at any rate, when I got mine, I had to buy one. I bought one pretty much straight away because I wanted to just secure it before everybody started having the same problem. And I think I paid about 65 for mine. So they've gone up quite a bit now because, as happens, the amount of figures available out there are decreasing. The pool's drying up as far as minty ones, and so that kind of drives the price up. So anyway, there's a good comparison there. That's about 95, $94 for a really minty one. And again, the ship itself, if you want to just get the ship, and maybe you get a good card, maybe you won't, but it's 152.99 is what that guy sold for. Speaking of Darth Vader, next up we had another 1.0 figure. This was the VC-13. Now this was the Darth Vader name pill of this. So this guy went for 122.50 plus 9.50 shipping, so about $130. And I wanted to show you this one compared to this one, which the original first release was Anakin Skywalker in the name pill, and instead of the Darth Vader. The Darth Vader was the second release, and you can see it also did not have the Boba Fett offer sticker because by the time they re-released it, they were finished doing that. But here, this one here was a foil version. It was a CAS graded 85 plus, and if we look at those sub scores, that is 85 on the card, 90 on the blister, and 95 on the figure, so it got the 85 plus. So really nice graded item there. That one went for $310. But what I wanted to show you, mainly besides the foil variation, because they did release this in the foil variation and the standard card with the white trim and the white label going around it. But this one is the Anakin Skywalker. And if you look on the back of this, this is another one of those examples where you can see there's no text here above this line, and the original figures that they put on there were from Revenge of the Sith line, and even I think that was Power Power of the Force 2 line or something like that. Power of the Jedi, I can't remember. But anyway, these are the old ones. Now, if we go back to look at the second release of this same figure on a different card with a different name pill, you can see here that they replaced these with the current vintage figures with the vintage card backs of what was coming out at that time, and it also had the collect these awesome figures, each sold separately uh, in the two double lines right there. And so also some of the little logos down here were different between those two cards. But I have a total of five of these cards. I've got the two Anakin Skywalker with the Boba Fett offer, which was this release with the first release, and then I have the Darth Vader one, which is unpunched, and then I have the two Canadian ones actually, because you can get these in a Canadian, North American, South American card, both regular and foil versions. So I have a total of 5 of these. But anyway, those are some really interesting things. The Anakin Skywalker, just to keep you in the know, you can find the Darth Vader unpunched relatively easy. The Anakin Skywalker with the Boba Fett offer that's unpunched, that one's the hard one to find, and because it's so harder to find, it's very expensive. If you find one of those unpunched, you're going to pay anywhere from $300 to $600. It just depends on the quality of the card and the seller who has them. So keep that in mind if you're trying to collect all of them. But moving on, next up we have a VC 112. This is the Dirty Sand Trooper. The original Sand Trooper that was released was just pure white on a little bit different card back, and that was the VC14. And then later in the line in 2012, they put the dirty one out with the orange pauldron, and he even comes with the little, from the special edition, he comes with a little um, I don't know if you call it a probe droid or what kind of droid it is, but it's really cool. It's a little nice accessory they have in here. This one here had someone put it with the acrylic case. Now this is not AFA graded, but it is just an acrylic case, and this one went for a lot. That's 215 for a figure in an acrylic case, and although it's nice, it's also punched. You can buy this figure unpunched minus the acrylic case, which acrylic cases are only about $25. But minus, you can buy this figure unpunched. You can get it for 125 to 150. So this was a bit of an overpriced figure to me, but hey, somebody wanted it, so good for them. They got it. The seller sold it. So just keep that in mind. I would look around if you want an unpunched one. You can find them on a better deal than that. So. Moving on, we have got a lot of 1.0s in this particular few days here. It's 2012. This was the Jocasta New, the Brian's Toys exclusive, and we've seen these before. This one went for 258.75 shipped is what it went for, and overall, look, the box looked pretty nice, pretty clean. Didn't see any major damage with it, so that's a nice another 1.0 figure. Then moving on, we had into some 2.0 realms. We had the Sabine and Chopper 2-pack on the mural cards. So these are not Ghost exclusives, but they do complete the set of the Ghost exclusive figures that came with it. The ones that came with the Ghost, again, were Hera, Zeb, Kanan, and Ezra, and then Hasbro made these two separately in this 2-pack. And so that's about what they retail for, is 90. So this went for about $100, $99 ship. So, and that's a good price. That's what they retail for. So not a bad deal there at all. Now this one here seemed a little bit high to me. This is one of the mural cards. This is the Kanan that came with the HasLab exclusive, and you can see, it comes with multiple accessories. He had the short hair versus the ponytail. And then also, if you wanted to put the little face cover on there. So this is a really great figure. It has a lot of accessories and a lot of options on it. But I have seen this figure go for $75. So somebody paid 140 plus another 8 shipping, so $148 for this in a protective case. I mean, it looks like a great figure. It's unpunched. I don't see any damage with it, but I have seen those sell for a lot cheaper. In fact, we've seen all 4 of them sell for 200 on just recently in the last couple of weeks. So if you find all 4 of them, $200, which is about $50 a piece, versus somebody paid $148 just for this one. Now compare that to here's the Hera version. This is AFA graded 8.5 in the HasLab from the HasLab, and that one went for it was listed for $129.99, 130. It actually sold for $111 with free shipping. So that's a graded figure, and just so you know, grading figures is going to cost you 75 to 85 bucks. By the time you pay for everything, getting the grade, shipping it there, getting it shipped back, all the return shipping. So $111 for a graded figure, and this is the more desirable out of all of them, obviously, because this Hera is unique with her Rebels outfit, and compare that to $148 for a non-graded figure. So this was a bit overpriced in my opinion, but somebody bought it, and hey, congrats. I'm glad you got what you wanted. But I would shop around a little bit before I paid that much for a Kanan. Next up, we have another HasLab exclusive. So here we have the Yak Face. This came with the sail barge, and these guys have still held their value as well. And we talk about like the Tonica sisters. This is just one that does not come down in price that much because you can get the Yak Face. They reissued Yak Face just in the regular line. I believe it was VC 132, and then that was in 2018. Then they re-released it again in 2023 for the 40th anniversary. So he's very easy to get. But if you want the Power of the Force version, which that's the real prize here, this is VC000 because it was the very first HasLab with the Power of the Force card. Chef's kiss. That's a 96er card. I love Power of the Force. I got one of these. I got it graded. It's a 9.0. It's one of the jewel prize pieces in my collection that I love. This one was listed for 200. The best offer accepted on it was 175. So with the shipping, we're talking about 185, 186 shipped, and that's about what they go for. They go from anywhere from 150 to 225. I've seen them go everywhere in that range. So, but you're not going to get anything cheaper than about 150 is about bottom dollar, and so 175. That's right in line with market value. Here's another HasLab. We exclusive was Cine Tonica. Again, these things are sitting parked right at 150. That's what they sell for. If you get lucky, sometimes you might catch them for 125 or catch a pair of them like this. So here's a pair of them that went for 270 plus another 10, so it was at about 285. So buying two of them, you saved a little bit of money, but at 285, that's still about 140 a piece. So again, that's where they're at, is in that 140 to 150 price range. This one I thought was a much better deal. This one had both of them, came with Wooher as well, and the asking price was 350. However, the best offer accepted on it was 300, so 309, and you got the two Tonicas. Let's call that at 150 bucks a piece. So you got Wooher for $9. That's a good deal. So, yeah, I mean that was a really good deal. Congrats on whoever bought that. And that's why I said if you can, you kind of try to buy them as a bundle. A lot of times you'll get them cheaper than trying to piece them out separately. If we just look at Wooher by himself, I've seen him go for 75 to $80. So the fact that you paid 150, and $9, that's an exceptional deal. Then we had a super mint Darth Revan VC301 AFA graded 9.5. That one went for $299 free shipping. That's a nice grade on a um, 9.5. I mean, that's really, really near mint. Moving on, we had another 4 pack of Rebel Fleet Troopers. These went for 85, so 91 shipped. Again, these retailed for 45 when they first came out, so they're double the price as what they originally came out for. Also, with the Stormtroopers, there was a 4 pack of the white Stormtroopers. Three of them had regular Stormtroopers. One of them was kind of had the pauldron, so he was kind of like a sand trooper, and so those still run around 85 to $90 as well. So, but yeah, that's what these guys are going for. Here we had an Obi-Wan Kenobi series Darth Vader. This one was an 8.5 uncirculated, $110 shipped. That's not bad. Again, if you just to get something graded, it's going to cost you 85 to $90. So here again, this one sold for 110, 8.5 uncirculated. Next up, we had a couple of the carbon freezing chambers. This is a pretty good deal. These were in the factory sealed box. Power Droid was selling these. He had two of them, so you're buying two of these, and it was $125. So that's not much more than what they originally retailed for. If you break it down to 50 a piece, now the 25 shipping, so you're looking at, what is that, 62.50 each. I think they retailed for around 39.99, so uh, a little bit more. But again, these were two that were pretty minty because they were in a shipper box. So that's a pretty good deal on that. I thought that was pretty cool. And those also came with the VC 171 Stormtrooper on the ESB card back. That is a beautiful card back. I mean, I sent mine in to get graded. It's at AFA right now. Next up, this was interesting. We had the Jabba's playset with the Court pack, the Court Denizens. This was the whole Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So they did these on two separate runs. They did the original release, and then they were going for quite a bit higher on the secondary market. So Hasbro reissued them a second time, and so these go for about 90. This goes for about 90. So that's about 180 bucks, and so this went for 209 plus another $32 shipping. So we're looking at about 240 for this set together. I think in some cases, if you had bought these from Pulse, you would have got them cheaper. And then obviously the Jabba's Palace. But if you're late to the game and they're sold out and they're out of stock everywhere, that's going to happen. You're going to pay a little bit more for them. But anyway, that's what they went for was 240. Really nice. Then this one here's another one of the Boba's throne room. So that's what you can do is you could take this throne room. It comes with the fat bib and all of that and the accessories, but it's interchangeable with this Jabba. So you don't have to use it with the Book of Boba stuff. You can use it with this Jabba set. And I forgot to mention that this one does come with the 8D8 and the Salacious Crumb. That was VC66A. So that's actually, got three figures with it, not just the playset, but it also comes with the hookah and all of that, and it comes with two carded figures. So you take that playset, and then you take this Boba throne room, and a lot of people have done that because obviously it's Return of the Jedi. So, and then you kind of combine that with the 2018 Walmart exclusive playset. That's where Han and Carbonite was hanging on the wall, and so they've really in the last few years have flushed out the throne room scene where you can do a lot with that. So anyway, this throne comes with again the fat bib Fortuna you can see there, carded figure. It comes with that and all the accessories, the dais, the throne, all of that stuff, with the exception of the aliens. Aliens on the box are separately, but they're very easy to pick up. Reuses are a dime a dozen. You can get the Weequay at a dime a dozen since they re-released him. Boba Fett, same as that. This one was listed for $275.99. The best offer accepted on it was $230, but you had $95.60 to ship this because this is a very heavy item. And so, gosh, that was $325 shipped. Um, they had these at Big Bad Toy Store for not too long ago for $249, and I think it was $6 shipping. So for 247, you could have got them, but I think they're out of stock out of them now. So here again, once everything's out of stock everywhere, they're going to go up in price on the secondary market. So next up, we had a deluxe cantina, 740. I believe it was free shipping on that. Yep, 740 free shipping. This was the deluxe, came with all the tiers, has the Tonica Sisters, Wooher, and everyone else in there. So that's what that guy went for, and that's a heavy box to ship. So it probably cost, depending on where you're shipping it to. This seller was in New Jersey, so if they were in New Jersey, maybe it wasn't that bad. But if you're shipping it to say Oregon or somewhere across country, I mean, you could pay up to $90 just to ship that thing because it's so heavy. Next up, this was interesting. This was a skiff guard, and when I first saw it, I was like, "Why does that go for so much money?" Because these are not that much money. But what it was is this seller was offering basically all the figures with it as well. So he had taken it out and he had it on display. He even has a picture of it on display. But he kept all of the pieces to it and everything, put it all back in the box. It's got everything. He did mention that uh, the R2D2 had the pop-up lightsaber that came with it, but that was missing. But other than that, everything was there. So everything together, someone's like, "Hey, here's an instant sail barge with everything." And so that was 182, about 182.50 shipped for that. So congrats to whoever got that. You don't have to piece everything together. You got everything that you need to put on that sail barge. Next up, this was a steal. Somebody got an excellent deal on this. So, Boba Fett Slave 1, the ESB version. This is not the 2013 Amazon exclusive. This is the one that came out in 2020-ish or 2021. It has the stand with it for $109. Congratulations. These retailed for $150. So this person got it on a bid, got it cheaper, and his new unopened has never been opened. So $109. Congrats to whoever won that. Next up, we don't see a lot of these, but we had a Poe Dameron's X-Wing. This guy went for total shipped on that was 132.40 by the time you add in the shipping. So the shipping here again from New Jersey, a little high on the shipping, but again depending on whether you use UPS or FedEx or who you use. But anyway, that was new in box, and that's what it went for was about 132.50. I think that they retailed for 99, I believe. It's I never did buy this one, so but I'm pretty sure that's what they went for. So anyway, it's still pretty much right in line. You're just paying for the shipping mostly. Um, then next up, we had another Antok Merrick. This one was listed for 200, and the best offer accepted on this was 175. So about 195, 194 is what this one went for. So still right in that $200 price range by the time you paid for shipping, and it was factory sealed. It does have the Antok Merrick with it. I did notice now it had a sticker on the box here on this back side of the box. So maybe if you're going to open it, you don't care about that, or if you're just put it in a case, maybe just put it on this side or whatnot. But just thought that was interesting that there was some kind of sticker on here, and that looks like a sticker that sometimes they did at Best Buy. I've seen those from like Best Buy and Amazon sometimes, but anyway, 194 on that shipped. And then this one was the 2011 Toys R Us exclusive X-Wing. This one's really cool because it has the big Toys R Us little, I guess you can't see it from here very well, but it's a little chrome reflective sticker down here that says Toys R Us. So this one went for 163.76 shipped. And the box looked really nice, looked like it was really well preserved. It was obviously unopened. So, a cool little piece. I like that back in the day, Toys R Us, on the AT-AT, the 2010 AT-AT from the ESB, they would put their little logo sticker on there. And, that's a really cool little bit of piece of history considering the Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. So, moving on here, we had another Razor Crest. This one here, the best offer accepted on it was 500. So 508 shipped. And he did show the shipper box. Now, what I was not sure about is the way he's listed this. He said Razor Crest plus two figures shipping box. But he didn't say it was factory sealed. He didn't say it was not opened. I don't know that it was open. I don't know if it wasn't open. He just did not say. So, looking at it, maybe he opened it and displayed it and put it back in there, or maybe he didn't at all. I don't know. Maybe he just took it out of the box to photograph it and put it back in the shipper box. But either way, for 508.18 is what this one went for. Next up, here again, we have another Ghost. We had the Ghost factory sealed, all tiers, all four we talked about with Hera, Kanan, Zeb, and Ezra. 523. This is cheaper than what they sold for from the HasLab. So here again, somebody got another good deal. If you're in the market for a Ghost, now's the time. They're not on people's radar. That's not, everybody's focused on Razor Crests and other things because of the movies coming out. Man, this is just, I'm impressed that people keep finding these for under 500 bucks. So, or in this case, 523, but that's still cheaper than what they came out for. And lastly, we had a sail barge. So this one was factory sealed, had it in the shipper box, and that comes with, like we talked about, the HasLab Yak Face, the Power of the Force card. Man, I both. Again, I talked about how much I love the Power of the Force cards. It's like I want Hasbro to do these, and I don't, because if they do, they're going to bankrupt me because I'm addicted to Power of the Force cards. They are so cool. I don't know what it is about them, but the way they look with the coin and stuff, it's just, man, I love those. I really wish that they would do a whole run of these. Just reissue the same figures we've already got. Luke and Stormtrooper, right? The Jawa. Just all you got to do is make the coins. The only one we don't really need is this Yak Face because he's already been done. But the Gamorrean Guard, they just did the Gamorrean Guard as a Target exclusive for the fifth go around. They released that figure three times in the 1.0 run. Then they re-released it again in 2018 because it was such a good seller. It was already, it was getting up in the $100 range, so they re-released it again in 2018. Well, that one got up to where it was $50 and $60 on the secondary market. So they re-released it a fifth time here, I believe it was last year. They made it the Target exclusive, and I really wish they would have put it on a Power of the Force card just to distinguish it, because we didn't really need, another card variation of the same Kenner card. But it would have been so cool for them to issue that on a Power of the Force card. So anyway, this HasLab, enough about Power of the Force. This is supposed to be about the Katana, the Sail Barge, factory sealed. $2,400 plus another $80 ship. So, and that was out of Tennessee. So, really good deal. Congrats to whoever got that, because I have seen these go upwards of $2,500, but being factory sealed with everything in it. There you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. This was probably a long video. I had a lot I wanted to cover and go over, but I hope you enjoyed this look at the current prices of what's going on in the vintage collection. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the little notification button, the little bell that gives you the notification button that'll give you notifications anytime I publish a new video. And keep buying that vintage collection, and we'll see you on the next one.